Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading for Friday the 26th of October. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. I don't know why I'm really looking forward to the weekend. I've got a busy one, but just nice to have a little bit of a chilled out day, that's for sure. I hope you've all got nice plans for the weekend. The weather doesn't really, it's all over the place here in Australia. Usually by October, November we're starting to get quite warm. But here it keeps doing a warm one day and a cold the next, so it still hasn't made its mind up. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I hit 3,000 this morning. I'm absolutely over the moon. I can't say to you how much I appreciate you. I think you already know that. Oh, ouch. Tower jumping out. Been threatening to come up for a while, so it may be time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Using the After Tarot to do your What's Cracking for Friday the 26th. Decision time, folks. Now, the Two of Swords. So we see a woman who's blindfolded. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, she has the swords across her heart, which looks like she's protecting herself. The moon shows in the picture, which says it's not all revealed yet. There's still stuff to be revealed here. But she's got a blindfold on, which says that you're actually failing to see the truth, or maybe you're keeping yourself and you're blind to the truth. But whatever way it is, you're not seeing the truth here. There could be a choice here. It can be a choice between two people, between head and heart. But you're trying to make a choice with not enough information, basically. And this may be a choice where you need to take something out of your life completely to move on. But you ain't doing it much here, so you maybe you don't know what this is yet. So if it's about to come out today. Okay, so first we have Temperance. Now, I think the Temperance card is a beautiful card. She's completely balanced. So this is how you are at the moment. You're really in a place of balance. I love that the dove shows in the top of this picture because that says to me you're at peace with things. It's actually sort of sitting on the cup, which of course is your heart. You can see that she's enlightened by, or he, the angel, is enlightened. They are, you know, equally pouring water from the cup into the river here, pond, whatever it is. She has one foot on the ground and one foot in the water. So everything about Temperance is balanced at the moment. And I feel like this is where you are. And for some of you, I feel like this is a really, you've worked hard to get to this place. You also, you know, there's a sun shining over here too. So you may have been in a bit of a dark place. I love that she has irises here. So this represents new life. All around, it's just a beautiful card. And I feel like for some of you, you've worked really hard to pull this balance into your life. You may be dealing with an earth sign at the moment. This could be you, being it's a general reading. Either way, it's a person who's completely in their element, feeling very down to earth, very honest and straightforward. Now, this isn't all earth signs, as you may know, but this is the traditional meaning of an earth sign. I note that there's a bull in this picture. So if you've been playing the stock market, I think that has a little bit of a message for you there, because there's money and a bull. This can be the card of Taurus primarily, even though it represents all of the earth signs. But being a king, it's an earth sign who's at the top of their game. So really, you are looking like you're in your primary position at the moment. You're on your throne. Looks like money's feeling good. You know, everything around you is feeling great. And with this Temperance card here, there's this lovely feeling of sort of, you know, getting up this morning and going, wow, I feel really like in the right place today. I feel financially comfortable. I feel emotionally comfortable. Everything's in balance. Beautiful. Look at this. Ta-da! The star. This is beautiful. So we have two major arcanas here this morning, which is always nice to see major arcanas, because I think, This is the time when universe steps up to reward us. So the star talks about hope and trust. It talks about wishes coming true, things that you've wanted. You know, this is sort of ultimate manifestation of things that you've known were coming your way and you've been waiting for. And again, we see, you know, a lot of water in this sign. So it could be dealing with a water sign. I always think that when something's really dominant like this, but this is the card of true hope and faith. And, you know, you've been waiting patiently for this. I can see whatever you've been waiting patiently for, and you've brought this beautiful feeling of balance into your life through it. So it's very nice. It could have been due to heartbreak. It could have been due to looking back at your past. But I feel like this energy is going now. This is what you've come from. So for some of you, you've worked really, really hard to release a past experience, to release past love perhaps. If this is about work and bringing in career or business, you may have released some of the fears you've had from the past. This is definitely, for me, feeling that you've got past some of that stuff like insecurity about yourself, low self-esteem, confidence. Sometimes when we lose something that we love a lot, we question things about who we are, where we're going. Heartbreak is nothing like heartbreak for that, to make you look deep inside yourself to see how you can improve on yourself. After the period of mourning, of course, as long as you're not staying in that forever. But grief and loss is a thing that really sort of digs deep inside us. And, you know, in order to heal properly, whatever it is, in order to heal properly, we've got to really digest those feelings. And I feel like a lot of you have done some of that. Sort of understanding why the feelings are there, because it is all about healing. And, you know, and healing is something... I remember one of the readers on here, the Queen of Hearts, she was talking about, you know, letting the tears flow, letting the emotions go over you. And, you know, if you've come from a family where you've been taught emotions aren't okay, especially like a lot of the English people, and certainly with my upbringing, my younger years, we were sort of taught that it was weak to cry, you don't cry, that sort of thing. So, you know, you get very tough and you toughen yourself up. But the thing is, tears are there for a reason. Grieving is there for a reason, and it's to help you release pain. And if you're not releasing it in a way you're supposed to, of course, you just swallow that and you keep it inside you, which eventually leads to you toughening up, which isn't a good thing. So we have to spend the rest of our lives understanding why we need to be vulnerable. So it's been a huge lesson for some people, and I've spoken to people in my personal readings about it. But I feel like this is some of the work you've done here to bring yourself around to this understanding. And once you've peeled that back, then you start to understand about manifestation and abundance. So it's really good work for you. Now, the one thing you've really got out of this, now you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here, because it does have the energy of a person here. This could be you again, having the capacity to sort of speak up for yourself now and stand your ground. And I love that with the King of Swords. But it could be you're dealing with someone. Maybe someone is around you that has this ability to be able to say exactly what they want to say. Now, I don't know that this is for everybody, but I feel this strongly for some of you. You know, when you really admire a person who just always has the right words for everything. And you think, how do you do that? It's just so natural for them. It just rolls off their tongue. You know, and you think, you stand there and you think, why couldn't I have said that? Because that's just perfect. I feel like you've got this person around you at the moment, or you're learning to be this person. You're learning how to be able to express yourself, how to say what you feel and think. And it's like it becomes more natural for you to do that. And I'm not talking about aggression. I'm talking about actually opening up and saying what you feel and what you think. You know, rather than letting it sort of roll around in your head all the time. The Five of Wands sort of talks about, actually it's the Seven of Wands. Sorry, I think I get this card mixed up a little bit in this pack. But that's interesting that the Five of Wands came up there in my head. this is the Seven of Wands, and this is about not being defensive. And I feel like when I sit this next to this lovely King of Swords here, this is exactly the energy I've just been feeling. So, you know, in the past it may have been that when you went to speak up about something, you became, or somebody said something, instead of answering them in a way that was appropriate, you know, expressing yourself in a very open manner, I think you became very defensive about it. And then you put up boundaries and barriers, which of course don't allow you to speak your truth. This is, for a lot of you here, this is to do with work. It's about you understanding the need. I think some of you have been undergoing quite some tough stuff here in work because you're learning how to speak up for yourself. You're learning how to stand in your power and express what you need to express. I've got very behind on this reading. I've been rabbiting on too much again. I really need to work out how to get my videos to go longer than 10 minutes, 15 minutes. There's a Justice card here. So something's being put right here for you. Something's being put right. You've had some sort of issue here that you've wanted to go a certain way, and it's starting to go in your favour because rights are being wronged here. Wrongs are being righted, sorry. Wrongs are being righted here. It's like things are starting to go in your favour now that haven't in the past. Yeah, look at you go. So it's like you really are understanding through this, working on your temperance, your balance, and understanding, having hope and trust in the universe. It's like you've learned the process of give and take here. You've learned that you can speak your mind and people will get it rather than walking away. Oh, this is really deep. Okay. All right. I'm trying to get the messages through. It's like in the past you bottled things up and you didn't speak or say what you needed to say. Somehow or another, through doing the work you've done, you're understanding how to balance this. So if you've had issues or problems at work, and this is primarily a work situation here for some people, it's like you've understood. You've done the whole what is the worst that can happen scenario. And you've decided that you can do that. You've really taken on this energy here of really speaking in a very assertive and practical manner because something's happening here for you to move you forward because of that. Now, you might have been a person in the past who managed things with emotion. And you've learned now that emotion doesn't always serve you. But as children, we tend to be quite emotive about situations. And as adults, sometimes we don't grow out of that. So when we do get upset, people don't take us seriously because we're still acting like children. And I feel like it's almost like you've understood that process here. I do have the Two of Cups coming up at the end. So for some of you, this can be about partnership, family. As I always say to you, this soulmate card is not necessarily about a romantic relationship. This can be about soulmate family. So it could be that you've learned to speak up against someone in business or with your family or a lover. But what it in fact has done, it's in fact brought you round to understanding how to express yourself in a relationship, how to assert yourself, how to ask for what you need, how to verbalize what it is that's troubling you without going emotional and going inside about it or acting out. I really feel for a lot of you, this is sort of like a bit of you've done some karma work here because you've undone some karma. And this is brilliant because this means that you will now be able to move forward on your path more than you've done before. So you've done a lot of healing. We have a couple of cards that sort of show me that you've been through a healing process. But what I like about it is this idea of looking back. That's no longer going to be something that you're going to do. You're going to really learn how to live in the moment, how to move forward here. Because you know, in the past you've become defensive about things and angry and upset about things, but now it's like you've understood you're allowed to say how you feel. I won't be able to pull an oracle card here, people, because I've rabbited on for too long, but I want to get through to some of you that you've peeled back this amazing layer of yourself here, which has allowed you now to be able to say to people, this is how I'm feeling, and being able to do it in a way that's straightforward.